everybody, welcome to E3 2017 Video 2. This is the Xbox conference, and let's just get started. So Xbox tried to come to play this time. I'm not quite sure how successful it was, but I guess that's what this video is here to cover. We'll get into it. So let's start with the big news. We got hardware news. We found out the name of the Project Scorpio, the price, and the release date. And I am underwhelmed by all of it. The release date's fine, but everything else I'm underwhelmed by. It's the Xbox One X, which I'm not sure is like the greatest name. It's a lot to say, but it does, from a branding standpoint, drive home a like good expectation with that. It's not Xbox something else making people think it's a brand new console. It is acting like it is a derivative of the Xbox One, which is going to have its benefits and have its weaknesses. The price, I think with the price, they're ceding a lot of ground to Nintendo. And hold on, I know that sounds stupid, but let me like walk this through with you, because I know the Switch and the Xbox One X aren't even close to each other in specs, but this generation is pretty much decided, right? Unless the Switch like knocks it out of the park and sells Wii U numbers. And even then, I don't know if it could catch up with the PS4. This generation is dominated by the PlayStation 4. So the other two companies are going to be jockeying and vying for that second place position. And while the Switch is very new and Xbox is very comfortable in its place, the Xbox is not competing against the Wii U anymore. It is competing against the Switch, which is probably one of the most well-received consoles I can remember. I get that it doesn't compete on specs, but that's not everything when you're dealing with consumer products. It is to you, it is to me, it is to people and hardcore gamers who understand that shit, but people who are buying stuff for their kids or buying stuff for their grandkids, they don't look at that. They're gonna look at like the value they get, right? And they're probably going to ask if there's games that they can play here and nowhere else, right? Like, those are things that are important. And I just can't see someone who has a PlayStation 4 who already doesn't have an Xbox being like, I'm going to pick up a second console, let me drop $200 more for a system that plays 90% of the same games as my PlayStation, when I could spend $300 on a game that plays all kinds of Nintendo first parties, all kinds of other things. I think at $100, I think at $100 difference between the Switch and the Xbox One X, there is a case to be made that there will be some people who will will be persuaded over to Xbox versus Nintendo. But at $200, I think that's an ask. I think that's a big ask. I don't know, I get it. There's a lot of tech wrapped up in that, and tech is not cheap, but if you're not gonna like blow it out and go home and make a new console and say, everything's backwards compatible, but this is a new console, this is the next generation, we've jumped ahead, all these losers are behind us. I don't know how you're gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you're gonna jockey for that position. And then they came with games. They came with lots of games. There are tons of games that I am excited to play, but when I sit and put on my critic's hat and think, well, what if I didn't own an Xbox One and I was watching this? Would this be enough to make me buy an Xbox One X or even an Xbox One S? Maybe an S at the $199 price it is right now, but it's going back up to $249 after E3 is over. Probably not. I'd probably be back into that situation of it's $249 for the Xbox One S and it plays 90% of the same games as my PlayStation does. Let me get that Switch because it's going to be a different experience. I can take it with me. I can do all these things. I don't think this is like dire like, the sky is falling, there's never going to be another Xbox again, burn it to the ground kind of moment. It's not the botched launch of the Xbox One bad. I think this keeps them treading water. I think this keeps them in the game and treading water. It will really depend on the longevity of the legs of the Switch, which they can't control, and yeah, it's like, and it's sad for me to say that. I've had every Xbox. I loved Xbox. I didn't get a PlayStation 2 for a long time because I loved my Xbox so much. So it kind of sucks that they're just like missing it. And to their credit, they came with games on games on games on games this year, and they really had a lot of games that were fun, but they were using that stupid marketing speak. And as someone who has a degree in communications and did visual PR and has done that kind of stuff, like, I hate that shit. I hate when people come up with things. It's a console launch exclusive. Well, that doesn't do anything except piss off people who don't own your console, right? And like, having people begrudgingly buy your console because they want to play games isn't probably the best way to go about it. People, I think we saw with Tomb Raider, the second Tomb Raider game, like, people just waited until it came out for PS4. It wasn't like that thing was lighting the world on fire. People just waited. So, I don't know. I think, and I hate that. I hate that they get through and we have 22 exclusives, and like 18 of them are timed console launch exclusives. Okay, whatever. Some of them I might buy on Xbox just because I want to play them, but some of them I'll probably wait for PS4. So, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer, but let's get into the games. They showed a bunch of great games. I've got my iPad here, so if you see me looking down or you see it, that's what we're doing. And some of these games, I'll pull out and do like screenshots and go through some of the things, but for a lot of it, we're probably just gonna go run through it because they literally showed like 42 games and I could barely keep all of them in my head with how they were doing it. It was interesting, to say the least. It felt a little bit more like a Sony conference in more than one way, which we'll get to. But yeah, let's just start with the games. I gotta scroll up to the top of the page. So they started with Forza 7. I mentioned yesterday when talking about Need for Speed that Forza Horizon was the last game I played, and I love Horizon. I think it's a great game. I've never really gotten into this super, like, realistic motorsports. It will be interesting to see Gran Turismo at Sony if it shows up, and how good it will be, because that's kind of like, Sony is kind of just like, let Forza run roughshod over them. They had the car on stage. At least it didn't come down from the ceiling this year. It also was actually a world premiere car, which, okay, great. Porsches are pretty. It's really aggressive. And then we saw Metro Exodus. I've never played a Metro game. People say I will like them. This one had me intrigued. I wonder if I'm going to have to go back and play the other two, and if I would, then that would be a no deal because I've got enough to play. But the combat looked good. It was cool that it was like, I don't know, it was like a little thing, but I really liked the reload animation on the crossbow. It seemed really smooth. I don't know, this seems really small, but I like the crossbow animation. That seemed really smooth. The world seemed really full. We'll have to see what comes out around it. I think that's what always has kind of like fell off with Metro. If you like the Metro series, leave a comment. Tell me why I have to play it. Be like, you've got to play this game because it's so good. Because I know people rave about it, but I just really have never gotten into it or seen the point. And then we saw Assassin's Creed Origin, which I used to play all the Assassin's Creeds, and then I stopped, and then I went back and played a little bit of Black Flag. It was whatever. And then I tried to play Unity, and it was just fucking god-awful. It was just bad. And, like, I know that the one from 2 years ago, what was it? I know that the one from 2 years ago that took place in England, Syndicate, people raved about that one, and I never went back and played it, but this one is interesting. It looks cool. They've replaced the towers, it seems like, with the bird, with an eagle, which is fucking fantastic, and, yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks like it's gonna be fun, so I'll probably play it. I think when it was going on, I was a little bit more excited about it, and then I started thinking about games that were going to come out around it, and, like, it may not be, like, day one I'm gonna buy it and play it, but I'll probably get around to it, like, in the winter, Christmas. I would say in that time of the year when nothing comes out, but that seems to be when everything gets pushed to and comes out now, so, we'll know. The next one I'm super excited about, and that's PlayerUnknown Battleground. I don't have a gaming PC. I don't want a gaming PC. I'll never have a gaming PC. And this was just a game I chalked up to being able to watch people play, and I'd never be able to play it myself. So there's a couple of those on this list. And it's exciting that it's going to be on Xbox first, but it may come to PS4, so I want to see if we can find out more information about how long that timed exclusive is, because if it's 6 months, then I can wait 6 months. If it's a year, I'll probably just buy it on Xbox and play it and be done with it before the PS4 version comes out. But I know I'm going to suck at it. I know I'm going to be terrible, but it just looks like one of those games that looks like so much fun to play. And, yeah, I really want to play it. I want to try it super bad. Then there was a Deep Rock Galactica, which, like, I didn't do anything. Just didn't. Like, looking at the name, I can barely remember the trailer. And then there was State of Decay 2. I like State of Decay, but I like State of Decay. It is a different kind of zombie game. I just don't know how many more zombie games I have in me. Like, I know I want to play Last of Us 2, and I know, and, like, it's going to really come down to, is it going to be, it really will come down to when Days Gone comes out, because if Days Gone comes out anywhere close to this, which you kind of think it has to, I don't think Days Gone is going to be a fall game. I think it is going to be a Winter 18 game. It's going to be State of Decay and Days Gone, and then, like, it will literally come down to, like, having to wait for the reviews and see how good it is. I kind of thought it would be this fall. I thought, like, once Scalebound fell apart and all the other, like, exclusives they had fell apart, I kind of thought State of Decay would be, like, that thing they were putting out for this fall, like, early fall. Next was Minecraft, and I'm not a big Minecraft person. I've just recently started playing Minecraft on my Switch, and I really enjoy it. I love it for, like, quick sessions when I'm winding to wind down, or, like, if I feel really stressed out, it's one of those games that I can play and it calms me down a lot. So it was cool to see all the things they were doing with Minecraft, but that shit's never come to Switch, and I don't want a version of it that I can't take with me. So yeah, it really didn't do anything for me. And then we get into the section of the show, which was just like fucking Bizarro Land. And he was like, yeah, we went around the world and we look at this. And he's like, and I played this game in Japan. And I was like, that's fucking weird, because there's like 100 Xboxes in Japan. Like, Xbox is terrible outside of the US. Like, Xbox is not a global brand in the way that PlayStation and Nintendo are. So when he was like, yeah, I played it, and it ended up being Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is, like, crazy. Like, really? Okay. It looked cool. I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan. I never was. It was the annoying thing that was loud before Sailor Moon came on when I was a kid. So, like, for Dragon Ball Z fans, I'm sure it's fucking great, but it's just not me. So that's fine. And then Black Desert. Black Desert is coming to consoles. So this is another one, like PlayerUnknown Battleground, that I had, like, chalked up to, oh my god, I fucking want to play that. oh my god, it's a PC only game. Well, that looks cool. I guess I'll probably watch some people play it on Twitch, live vicariously through them, and that'll be it. Now it's coming to console, and I'm gonna get to play it, and I'm fucking stoked. I'm excited! All of the characters in that look magical. I want to cosplay 90% of them. I'm ready. It's magic, and I'm into it. I just want to play it a lot. It looks good. And then there was one more. There was and then after that there was, sorry, it like didn't have it in the order. I had screwed it up a little bit. So then after that they started to show the Code Vein game, which is like JRPG anime Dark Souls, it looks like a little bit, and I am there for it. I am there. If it's console, I think it said, I don't know if it said console exclusive or console launch exclusive. That's the thing, right? There's so many games and so many things were console launch exclusive and console exclusive that, like, I don't know. And I was paying attention and taking notes and shit talking on Twitter, so like that probably is when all those details went by me. But no, this game looks awesome. The part where the like it wrapped up around his face was like, I was just like, yes, it's anime, but like totally not Xbox. Like, not a game I would expect to see on Xbox. Something I would totally expect to see tomorrow night at Sony. So it was a pleasant surprise that it was here at Xbox tonight. Or this afternoon. Gotta scroll back to where we were. And then there was Last Night, which is like this cyberpunk game, which looks pretty awesome. It came out of a game jam. I'll definitely be looking into that. That looked awesome. Looks fun. And then Artful Escape. That game, I was looking at this like, ooh, what the hell? Yeah, that looks good. And then he started like playing the guitar and like jumping on those pillars of light to like get somewhere, and I'm like, that's so rad. Yeah, I totally want to play it. Saw on Twitter when it was announced, like a couple people being like, yeah, I played this at PAX, or I played this demo at this video game thing, and it was like amazing. So like, that's awesome. I can't wait to play it. It looks super fun. Then we got into Sea of Thieves, which was fine. I'm more interested in it now than I was last year. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's rare. I want to be a pirate. I think I was pretty excited maybe in my video last year for it, but like, I kind of just forgot about it. And like, it looks fun, but it's going to be something like I will have to poll my friends. If a bunch of my friends are going to get it, then sure, done. Let's do this, let's play together, let's do it. But if it's not super popular in my group of friends, then it's probably a no-go. And then Tacoma is coming August 2nd. Finally, that's exciting. As a Portlander, I am excited to see what the hometown studio here has to put out. Yep, we also got a release date for Cuphead, which is September 29th. If it's wrong, I'll put it down here. But Cuphead's coming out September 29th. I'm super excited about it. It looks great. Next up was Super Lucky Tale, which people were like, oh, it's Conker. Oh, it's this. It didn't do anything for me. Maybe I'm just not into those kind of games anymore. Or maybe I know Mario Odyssey's coming and I'd just rather play that. So, then Crackdown 3 came, and, yep, I want to do it sold. I want to collect orbs. I want to be powerful. I want to take down buildings. I'm into it. Then Ashen came, and that game looks super interesting. I love the art style. I love the, like, mythology kind of thing that was going with it. It just looked awesome. I'm down to play that. They did a bunch of Xbox ID, which I'm not going to get into. They did Life is Strange Before the Storm, where you get to play as Chloe before, like, in the years while, the protagonist from Life is Strange, which I can't think of her name right now, is gone. So that's exciting. I probably won't play it. It's not by the studio. It's a prequel done by a different studio while the main studio works on Life is Strange 2. I'll see what the reviews are. If it's awesome, down. If it's not, whatever. Then it was Middle-earth Shadow of War. Sorry to disappoint you. I literally muted it and was talking to my boyfriend on the phone because I just am allergic to all things Lord of the Rings. I have no desire to play Shadow of Mordor. I watched my boyfriend play it. He loves that game. This game just feels like more of that, and I have no desire. Like, sorry. My mom was a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and, like, it was one of those things, like, where you see, like, parents, like, try to get their kids into it, and, it was just never. She, like, totally ruined it for me. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's Lord of the Rings, I guess. I don't really dig it, so the license really kind of ruins it for me. The gameplay looks fine, but I just couldn't be more bored by Tolkien. So then there was an Ori and the Will of the Wisps was the name of it. It looked cool. Ori and the Blind Forest was fucking hard, so I don't really feel the need to, like, bang my head against that wall again, so probably going to be a pass on that as well. Yesterday I had Squirtle, and I forgot to show you guys. Today is a Bulbasaur. Maybe I'll pull out Squirtle for whatever I'm drinking during Bethesda. And then it's Anthem. And it looks great. Anthem looks awesome. Anthem looks great. I have a little nagging doubt in the pit of my stomach of, like, well, Mass Effect Andromeda looked okay, but this is the A-team. I have confidence. I feel like this is the A-team. This is Edmonton. This is, I mean, I know all the studios at BioWare worked on Andromeda, but I feel like it was headed up at Montreal, and it was a lot of the studio, like, drama coming out of it was Montreal, and, like, everybody pitched in at the end to try to, like, get it done, but, this looks good, this looks fun, people are comparing it a lot to Destiny. If it came down to a Bungie story or a BioWare story of Destiny-style gameplay, I'm going to pick the BioWare story every time. Destiny is not a good story. I'm not sure Destiny 2 is going to be any better. They say they've got it. A couple of the last... the Taken King update was pretty decent in the single-player mode, but it was like single-player and done. And, this also gave, like, yesterday I had made the comment because of the, like, arches and some of the architecture that it had a Xenoblade vibe. It gives me a bigger Xenoblade X vibe now seeing the gameplay. It feels a lot like it. The combat looks a lot better, more fluid, the graphics look better, all of that. It's gonna have BioWare's storytelling and not, like, weird half-baked anime storytelling like Xenoblade Chronicles X had, but and you don't have to wait fucking 100 hours or whatever, 50 hours to get the mech, whatever it was, ridiculously long game time to get the mech in Xenoblade Chronicles X. And so yeah, it had that feeling, but I could play with my friends, and it looked like it was a lot more, like, user-friendly with the, like, combat. So, if they can take the fluidness of the movement in Andromeda and add that to the, like, you know what I'm saying, like, that was the thing I liked about Andromeda in the little bit I played, was how fluid you could move around, and the jumping and all of that, like, combat stuff was super fluid and fun, which normally when I play Mass Effect I'm like, fuck this, just let me get back to the alien making out. But I actually did like that about it, which is why I am going to make time to go back and play it. But yeah, I mean, that was really it. Like, that was it. They ended it with the high note of Anthem, and then they got the fuck out, which, like, respected them on that. But yeah, so that's it. let's wrap up my big takeaways. I think that they ceded a ton of ground to the Nintendo Switch by pricing their console $200 more than it. I think they have great games that are coming out for it on either timed exclusive or exclusive. Super disappointed we didn't see anything from Halo. I know they had said that they were, but I was hoping deep down that that was a misdirect. Like, you've got a new console coming out. There's no Halo. They didn't even come out and say Master Chief Collection or Halo 5 will be upgraded for the Xbox One X. What? There's some Halo Wars stuff, but I don't know anyone who's ever played Halo Wars. So that was highly disappointing that there was, and the thing is like when they were announcing it, Master Chief was one of the big things they showed. Like don't tease me like that. So price too high to compete with the Switch, I think, for a second console in people's houses. Good games and exclusives, but none of them are like, gotta buy this console if I don't already have it. And a weird but awesome turn into having more anime-ish Japanese JRPG games on the console. So all in all, it wasn't like the worst Xbox conference we've ever seen. It wasn't the best. I kind of think last year's might have been better, but last year's, everything kind of fell apart after that. So this seems to be like a little bit more reserved, but I feel like we're going to see a lot more of these things actually happen than we did last year. So that's it. I don't think Microsoft is dead in the water by any chance, any stretch of the imagination. I think they're going to keep treading, and hopefully when it actually comes to the real next generation console that we get, that they just slap it out of the park and win. And but they're going to have to really hustle and really bring it to do it. So that's it. I'm going to cut this short. Sorry, I know I had said I was going to put in voiceover screen shots, and I may do some separate videos later in the week of some of the trailers that I wanted to do that with, but I looked at the time and I want to get this edited and uploaded before Bethesda starts so I can do Bethesda after. So time crunch, not a lot of time. There's just little old me here making videos in my living room with my dogs in my lap. So I will see you later tonight for Bethesda. Have a great day. Have a great night. See you later, guys.